but you can't do it because you don't own it. Only the person who own it, the person who control, a lot of times, they don't even own it, they just control it. Most businessmen don't own nothing. They control it.
They just
like me, I don't own my company. I just control it.
There you go. There you
know
go.
what I'm saying? For real. This real talk.
Come on, man.
Business 101. And the sad thing about it is, bro, I talk to brothers about this all the time. And one thing I learned, that business is Greek, is Latin, and French. Meaning that, most people don't understand it. So when you try to teach people about business and you try to show them, what 1123 is, you try to show them how, to get on Dine and Bride, Paydex, all this stuff, and how to get money and raise capital. You know what I'm saying? It goes over their head because they only know one or two things, and everybody wants to be an artist. I tell this young man all the time, dude, artists they only get 10% of the wealth. 90% goes to the business. If you look at Hip Hop Attorney is all business. We got HHF Records. We got HHF Films. We just signed with Buffalo 8. You know what I'm saying? We got a major distribution with them. We got HHF social media app. You know what I'm saying? We got all of these things, you know what I'm saying, that we control and that we run from our own perspectives.
Man, no, it's a game, real game right there. All right, speaking of game, I got to get your take on this because, of course, you see what happened down in Houston where, Drake, of course, drops his album. And then, Sauce Walker and his baby mama get into a little, situation where it comes out that technically I'm assuming that his girl was getting taken care of by Drake, apartment being taken care of, $11,000 a month, cars being bought, Maybachs, things of that nature. And, of course, it all started with a leaked phone call with Sauce saying what he'll do to Drake and all that stuff. And therefore it started being a back and forth as far as, Sauce Walker saying, hey, since it's out now, I sent her, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. From your perspective, this is the social media era, this is the game.
Well, let me give you the legal perspective, right? Yeah, the legal perspective is live your life like you're on trial. Everything you say will be used against you in a court of law, right? You know what I'm saying? Don't speak on phones. I don't care if a dude say he got 100 birds, man, I got 50 of them for you. You know what I'm saying? Hang up on it. Because all the glitter ain't gold. And I think that's the biggest problem with most of our brothers, today, is that they don't realize that everything they say will be used against them in a court of law. So when you live your life like you're on trial, you always weigh the consequences. See, life ain't what you get into, Brother Joker. It's what you don't allow yourself to get into. And, some people, they allow themselves to get into quagmires of irrelevancy, where situations be intensified. And now, you know what I'm saying, it's easy, to get out of, it's harder to get out of the situation than it is to get in the situation. Don't let a temporary situation cause a permanent problem. And I think that that's the problem with a lot of our brothers today. They think that the internet, because, they behind a computer and there's no buffers there, there's no lawyer, nobody telling you to chill out. They think that it's cool and they think they got to give everybody in the world explanation. Now, for full disclosure, Sauce Walker I'm a fan of his. I like Sauce Walker. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that I like Sauce Walker, and I'm also, a fan of Drake's. You know what I'm saying? I like Drake. I like Drake from a different perspective. But the problem with a lot of dudes make with Drake, right? And I think that this is how people end up in sticky situations. The problem a lot of people make with Drake is that Drake is not as square as everybody think he is. Want me to explain it?
Please, go ahead.
The nigga signed to Mob Ties. He signed to the most gangsterous, the most well-respected organization in Houston.
Come on.
His daddy is from Memphis, Tennessee. You see how he dressed, he a player.
Come on.
So you don't think his dad is giving him game? You don't think that Jay Prince and Jazz Prince is lacing him up? You know what I'm saying? This man is a lot more sharper than these guys think. They think because he light-skinned and he got a white mama that he's a sucker. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at it, a lot of the things that he do, you know what I'm saying, is not typical of a square. Right. You know what I'm saying? He do a lot of stuff that's non-square. Who gets in somebody's DM and get in somebody's baby mama to get, that's some hood shit. You know what I'm saying? That's some hood shit. You ain't gonna never see what's his name, Maxwell or Teddy Pimpin It's somebody DM trying to get at their baby mama. You know what I'm saying? Me, so, you know, Drake is nothing to play with. And a lot of dudes gonna find that out the hard way. And, you know, but, you know, obviously, if that's true, you know, of course he's spending money too. You know what I'm saying? Me, so, you know, of course, you know, I don't have a T on my forehead. I have a P on my forehead. So, you know what I'm saying? Me, obviously, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with the tricking part if that's true. You understand me? But the thing that I want everybody to understand that's in the game, man, is that human trafficking is real. That these folks will take information that people say and they will use it against you. And with the feds, a lot of people don't understand, they will put them under what they call contempt of court. In the feds, you can get up to 5 years. And they can hold you indefinitely. You could be in a federal holding tank without a case for years. So a lot of brothers got to understand, man, you know, when you're dealing with these females, you know what I'm saying, ain't nothing worse than the scorn of a woman. You know what I'm saying? Be very careful. Be very tactful. You know, be careful what you say on the phone or off the phone. Be careful how you handle those females because certain shit will come back to bite you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just like being sharp, you know, and stand off the internet, you know, because the internet can be your best friend. It can be your worst friend. You know, and like I said, just live your life like you're on trial. So, you know, I mean,
what about when you put it into music? You know, not only did Drake put situations into music from when you listen, you're like, that sounds like a real situation. Even Sauce made a song, put it into music. Is it tactful at least to make artistic choices with it and put it in music?
Let's be real. Let's be real, right? Let's just go down that. Y'all want to go down that rabbit hole?
Let's go down that rabbit
hole. Drake got into it many years ago with Meek Mills.
Yes.
Everybody know how that turned out, right?
Yeah. Come on.
He got into it with Kendrick Lamar, right?
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, we know how that turned out, right?
Come on.
But what everybody failed to realize is that Drake was strategizing and he was planning the whole situation. Not only did he go at everybody that he had plex with, he didn't do it during the time that he had plex with Kendrick Lamar. He waited till he was going to drop his album. He sued Universal Records. Not only did he sue Universal Records, he dropped 3 albums in one night with no publicity, no nothing. And he mentioned everybody that he had a problem with. What did that do? That did 10 times more damage than Kendrick Lamar or any other beef that ever been done in the history of beef.
Come on.
Jay-Z responded to it. You know what I'm saying? Me, so-and-so responded to it. You got to remember, Drake's father is a player. This man come from good stock. So you understand me? If you want to say who had the coldest move, and he even got Sauce Walker, everybody marketing and promoting this man, whether for good or bad, you got to say that the man ain't no lame. I'm a boss. I'm a master of game. The man, to me, he put the most game down that I've ever seen in the music industry. He got out of his record deal. He got everybody talking about him. He's number one. He beat Michael Jackson, and he put Michael Jackson glove up. I mean, what is the audacity of him putting a glove of the greatest of all times? Because he knew the strategy that he was putting down. But I remember I said positioning earlier. He positioned himself not only to beat Michael Jackson record, but to get everybody on him. So really, man, if hip hop was dead, Drake gave him mouth to mouth. He resuscitated.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying? So, but you know, you got to be sharp to look at it.
Yeah.
Because you can't take away Jay Prince. You can't take away mob ties. You can't take away the fact that he signed to some serious dudes in Houston. You can't take away the fact that his father is from Memphis, Tennessee. We're the home of the game. So you know what I'm saying? All these things got to be factored in. You can't take away that he told the whole internet up with no promotions and no marketing.
Real life.